My beloved child, before you clicked on this message, something invisible was already shifting around you. I know the silence you have been carrying. I know the words you chose not to speak. I know the tears you wiped away before anyone could see them, while others mistook your silence for weakness. Heaven recognized it as strength. You have remained quiet not because you had nothing to say, but because I was teaching you the power of waiting for my perfect timing. Listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal will explain why your soulmate has become restless. They can no longer ignore the space your absence has created. Every day your silence grows louder in their heart, and it is beginning to awaken emotions they tried to bury. They expected you to chase. They expected you to explain yourself. They expected you to keep reaching out. But instead, you trusted me, and your silence became the message they could never escape. Right now, even if you cannot see it, your soulmate is thinking about you far more than they admit. Your name appears in their mind at unexpected moments. They remember conversations they once overlooked. They replay memories they thought no longer mattered. They are asking themselves questions they never had the courage to face before. Why can't they stop thinking about you? Why does every reminder of love somehow lead back to your face? Why does peace disappear whenever they convince themselves to move on? These questions are not accidents. I have placed them there because the season of awakening has begun. Do not confuse silence with abandonment. Your silence has become the mirror that forces them to confront everything they have been avoiding. Every unanswered message, every missing conversation, every empty space where your presence once existed has become impossible for them to ignore. What once felt normal now feels incomplete. They are beginning to realize the value of what they almost lost. But my child, this is not happening by chance. I have been working behind the scenes while you believed nothing was changing. Every prayer you whispered reached me. Every night you cried without telling anyone was counted. Every moment you felt forgotten was seen by heaven. I was never absent. I was preparing hearts, moving circumstances, closing doors that would have hurt you, and opening paths you could not yet understand. Now the time is approaching when hidden emotions can no longer remain hidden. Your soulmate is about to do something that even surprises them. They have been fighting their feelings, pretending everything is fine, distracting themselves with work, friends, or endless activity. Yet no distraction has been strong enough to silence what I have placed inside their heart. They may suddenly search for your name. They may look at old pictures. They may ask mutual friends about you without admitting why. They may even begin writing messages they never send because fear still whispers louder than faith. This inner battle has become exhausting. The silence that once felt comfortable has become unbearable. That is why they are standing at the edge of a decision they never imagined making. But hear me clearly. Do not rush ahead of my timing. The greatest mistake you could make is believing you must force what I am already arranging. If I have destined this connection, no amount of distance can destroy it. If I have written this story, no human fear can erase it. Your assignment is not to chase. Your assignment is to remain faithful. Stay close to me. Continue becoming the person I created you to be. Let your peace speak louder than your anxiety. Let your faith become stronger than your fear. Because while you are growing, I am also transforming them. They are learning lessons they could never have learned while everything was easy. They are beginning to understand what true love requires. Pride is breaking. Fear is weakening. Regret is becoming impossible to ignore. Soon they will realize that the one they kept thinking would always be there is no longer waiting in the same place. That realization is shaking them more deeply than anyone around them can see. They smile in public while privately wrestling with thoughts they cannot escape. They appear confident while secretly wondering whether they waited too long. This is why I tell you again, remain patient. The silence that has confused you is accomplishing more than endless words ever could. Heaven often works most powerfully when nothing appears to be happening. Trust the process I have designed. Trust the delays I have allowed. Trust the closed doors that protected you from pain you never saw coming. Because very soon, what has been hidden will begin to reveal itself, and you will understand why I asked you to wait. This story is not ending in the silence. It is only beginning. That my beloved child, do not allow impatience to steal the peace I have placed inside your spirit. I know there are moments when you wonder if remaining silent has made you invisible, but I assure you that your silence has become one of the loudest messages your soulmate has ever received. Every day they expected you to return to the old pattern, to be the one who reached out first, to break the distance, to make everything easy again. But when you chose peace over chasing, something unexpected happened inside them. The confidence they once had slowly began to disappear. Questions replaced certainty. Curiosity replaced comfort. They began wondering why your energy suddenly felt different. They could no longer predict your next move, and that uncertainty started awakening emotions they had kept asleep for far too long. My child, this is the mystery of my timing. When I ask you to be still, it is never because I have forgotten you. It is because I am accomplishing what endless effort could never achieve. While you have been focusing on healing, your soulmate has been experiencing moments they cannot explain. There are nights when they suddenly remember your laughter for no reason. There are mornings when your name quietly crosses their mind before anything else. There are ordinary moments that unexpectedly remind them of you, and every reminder grows stronger than the last. They have tried distracting themselves They have convinced themselves they should move on. They have buried themselves in responsibilities, conversations, entertainment, and work, yet every distraction eventually fades, leaving them face to face with the truth they have been avoiding. You remain in their heart because I allowed your connection to leave an imprint that time cannot easily erase. Do not misunderstand what I am saying. This does not mean every feeling automatically becomes a lasting relationship. Every person still has free will. But when I am working in someone's heart, the process often begins with conviction, reflection, and a willingness to face truths they once ignored. That is the season your soulmate is entering. Now, they are beginning to recognize the places where fear controlled their decisions. They are remembering moments when they could have spoken honestly but remained silent. They are seeing opportunities that slipped away because pride convinced them they would always have another chance. Regret is becoming a teacher they cannot silence. Every lesson is preparing them for a decision that is drawing closer. There is something they are considering that would have seemed impossible only weeks ago. They are thinking about reaching out. They are imagining conversations they once avoided. They are wondering whether forgiveness is still possible. Even now, they rehearse words in their mind without anyone knowing. They start typing messages only to erase them moments later. They imagine seeing you again and question whether you would even welcome them. Fear continues whispering that it may already be too late, yet hope refuses to disappear. That conflict inside them is becoming stronger every single day. My child, while they wrestle with uncertainty, I want you to remain anchored in me. Do not measure your worth by whether someone contacts you today or tomorrow. Your identity has never depended on another person's actions. Your value comes from me alone. The love I have for you existed long before this connection and will remain long after every earthly season has passed. When you understand that truth, desperation loses its power. You become free to wait without anxiety because your confidence rests in my promises rather than human behavior. Continue building your life. Continue strengthening your faith. Continue becoming the person I designed you to be. The more you grow, the more prepared you become for every blessing I choose to release. Remember, I never bring restored relationships into hearts that are unwilling to heal. That is why I have been working on both of you separately. I have been teaching you patience while teaching them humility. I have been strengthening your peace while exposing the fears hidden inside their heart. Two different journeys are moving toward a moment that neither of you can fully see yet. Do not interrupt what heaven is arranging by acting out of fear. Every delay has purpose. Every quiet season carries hidden preparation. Every unanswered question is leading toward greater clarity. Soon, something will happen that causes your soulmate to realize they cannot continue pretending everything is fine. The silence they once believed they could manage will suddenly feel unbearable. They will recognize that losing your presence created an emptiness no one else has been able to fill. That realization will push them closer to a choice they have resisted for far too long. When that moment arrives, remember these words. You were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. I was simply writing a chapter that required faith before it revealed its meaning. Stay close to me, my beloved child, because what is unfolding has only begun, and the next step will reveal why your silence became one of the greatest turning points in this entire story. My beloved child, the moment I have been preparing you for is drawing closer than you realize. There is a reason your spirit has felt different lately. There is a reason you have sensed that something unseen is beginning to shift. It is because what once remained hidden is slowly being brought into the light. Your soulmate has reached a place where pretending no longer brings peace. They have spent so much time convincing themselves that silence would solve everything, but now they are discovering that silence without truth only creates a deeper emptiness. Every day they carry thoughts they never expected to have. They replay old conversations and notice details they ignored before. They remember the kindness you offered when they least deserved it. They remember the patience you showed when they were uncertain. They remember the love they quietly received but failed to fully appreciate. Memory has become a teacher, and every lesson points back to you. Yet I tell you this, my child, not so you will place your hope in another person, but so you will place your trust in me, the one who sees every hidden thought and every unseen tear. I have watched your heart when no one else noticed. I have seen the moments you wanted to send one more message, make one more call, or search for one more sign. I know how difficult it has been to remain still while everything inside you wanted answers. But your obedience during this quiet season has accomplished more than you can imagine. Because you chose to trust me. Instead of forcing the outcome, I was able to work in places your hands could never reach. I have been speaking to hearts in ways no human conversation could accomplish. I have been allowing truth to grow naturally, without pressure, without manipulation, without fear. That is why what is happening now carries far greater weight than anything you could have arranged on your own. Your soulmate is beginning to recognize that life continued moving forward, but something important never truly left their heart. They have tried replacing the connection. They have tried distracting themselves with new routines, different people, and endless responsibilities, yet every attempt has eventually brought them back to the same question. Why does your absence still feel so present? Why does every step forward somehow remind them of what they left behind? These questions have become impossible to silence because I have allowed conviction to replace denial. Conviction is never meant to destroy. It is meant to awaken. It is meant to invite change where pride once ruled. And change is exactly what is beginning to happen. They are becoming more honest with themselves than they have ever been before. They are admitting mistakes they once defended. They are recognizing fears they once disguised as confidence. They are beginning to understand that love cannot survive where pride refuses to bend. This realization is creating an urgency inside them that grows stronger with every passing day. There will soon come a moment when they can no longer remain comfortable doing nothing. They will feel an overwhelming desire to reach toward what they once walked away from. But before that moment arrives, I need you to prepare your own heart. If they come with words but no change, wait for wisdom. If they come with promises but no consistency, seek my guidance. Never mistake emotion for transformation. True change is revealed through faithful actions repeated over time. I am not calling you to return to old patterns. I am calling you to walk into a new season with discernment, strength, and peace. Remember how far I have already brought you. You are no longer the same person who depended on someone else's attention to feel valuable. You are no longer the one who begged to be understood while forgetting your own worth. I have been rebuilding your confidence from the inside out. I have been teaching you that your identity is secure because it is rooted in my love, not in another person's approval. Hold tightly to that truth. Do not let excitement cause you to forget the lessons I have patiently written upon your heart. The future I prepare is built upon wisdom, not desperation. As your soulmate continues wrestling with their heart, they will begin noticing signs they once ignored. They will hear songs that remind them of you. They will visit familiar places only to find your memory waiting there. They will experience moments of quiet when your face unexpectedly appears in their thoughts. They may even dream about conversations they wish they had spoken long ago. These moments are not meant to control them. They are invitations to confront what has remained unfinished. Whether they choose to respond with courage is a decision only they can make. Every person has free will, and I do not force love. But I do open doors for honesty, humility, and reconciliation when hearts are willing. So continue trusting me, my beloved child. Continue praying even when you cannot yet see the full picture. Continue walking in peace while others walk in confusion. Because the chapter ahead will reveal whether your soulmate is finally ready to choose courage over fear, truth over pride, and action over silence. And when that moment arrives, you will understand why I never allowed you to rush what heaven was carefully preparing all along. My beloved child, before this message comes to its end, I want you to hear me with an open heart. Do not allow fear to write the ending of a story that I am still unfolding. Too often you have believed that silence meant loss, but I tell you now that silence has been the place where I performed my greatest work. While you waited for visible movement, I was transforming invisible things. While you searched for answers, I was preparing hearts. While you wondered if your soulmate had forgotten you, I was allowing them to experience life without the peace your presence once brought. There are lessons that cannot be taught through comfort alone. Some truths are only discovered after something precious seems distant. Your soulmate is now standing in that place of discovery. The confidence they once carried has turned into reflection. The certainty they once displayed has become questions they cannot answer. They have begun recognizing that what they dismissed too quickly has continued living quietly inside their heart. Every attempt to ignore it has only strengthened it. Every distraction has eventually faded, leaving them face to face with the reality they can no longer escape. They understand now that your silence was never revenge. It was the beginning of your healing. And as you healed, they were forced to confront the parts of themselves they had spent so long avoiding. This is why their heart feels restless. They are beginning to understand that genuine love cannot survive where pride remains in control. They are realizing that fear has cost them more than they were willing to admit. They are asking themselves whether one decision made in courage could change everything. That question grows louder each day because I have allowed conviction to replace comfort. Conviction is my invitation to choose a better path. It is not punishment. It is mercy. It is an opportunity to become someone new. My child, whether your soulmate chooses to walk through that open door is still their decision. Love cannot be forced, and neither can transformation. Every person must willingly choose honesty, humility, and responsibility. That is why I have spent this season strengthening you instead of asking you to chase them. I never intended for your peace to depend upon another person's choices. Your peace comes from knowing that I remain faithful regardless of what others decide. If this connection is truly part of my plan for your life, it will be built upon truth instead of confusion, respect instead of uncertainty, and commitment instead of temporary emotion. If it is not, then trust that I will continue leading you toward what is ultimately good for you. Either way, I will not abandon you. I will not waste your waiting. I will not ignore your prayers. Every tear has been counted. Every moment of loneliness has been seen. Every silent prayer has reached my heart. The story of your life is far greater than one chapter, one season, or one relationship. I have prepared blessings that your present understanding cannot yet fully imagine. Continue becoming the person I created you to be. Continue choosing forgiveness over bitterness, faith over fear, and peace over panic. Do not measure your future by what happened yesterday. I am able to restore what seems broken, redirect what seems lost, and create new beginnings where others only expect endings. Soon, clarity will replace confusion. What has remained hidden will come into the light. Conversations that seemed impossible may finally happen. Truths that remained unspoken may finally be revealed. Whether your soulmate reaches out or whether I lead you toward an even greater purpose, know this with certainty: your life has never been delayed by my silence. It has been protected by my wisdom. Walk forward with confidence, my beloved child. Release every anxious thought into my hands. Stop carrying burdens I never asked you to hold. Trust that my timing is wiser than your impatience and my plans are greater than your expectations. The chapter ahead belongs to me, and because it belongs to me, it is filled with hope, purpose, and possibilities beyond what you can presently see. Hold on to your faith a little longer. Keep your heart open, your spirit humble, and your eyes fixed on me. When the right moment arrives, everything that once felt confusing will finally make sense. Until then, remember this one unchanging truth: you are deeply loved, you are never forgotten, and I am working for your good. Even when you cannot yet see my hand. Peace be with you, my beloved child, today, tomorrow, and always. Amen.